This is CBS 4 News.
We are on the storm watch tonight. Parts of South Florida were under a severe thunderstorm warning this afternoon. Now, the good news, those expired just about an hour ago, but because of all of that rain, street flooding advisories do remain in effect. So let's send it right over to CBS 4 Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer. Craig, you have been tracking these storms all afternoon, and you say we may not be out of the woods just yet.
No, we've got a long evening of rain and storms around and another repeat of this. And the tropics are looking better. I'll have more on that coming up.
Craig, thank you. We are following breaking news out of Texas at this hour. The Texas Attorney General telling CBS News that at least 15 people have been killed after a 21-year-old man opened fire at an El Paso shopping center. CBS 4's Kenneth Craig has the very latest.
Heavily armed police swarmed the Cielo Vista Mall as a helicopter flew overhead.
This is a large crime scene, a large area, so we are systematically going through it and making sure that anybody in the area, number one, we're ruling out that no one is a suspect, and we're also making sure that those people that were separated or hurt are getting the care that they need.
This Walmart employee said it took a moment to realize what was going on.
I hear them closer and louder, and that's when I realize, I'm like, okay, this is like serious. So I see people running right away, and that's when I reacted. I'm like, okay.
This man witnessed the chaos as it unfolded.
Some of the other employees, they were coming in, and they would tell me that they heard some gunshots, and people just started bolting straight into the store in order to get to cover.
And it is very hard to think about this.
Speaking at an event in Nevada, Democratic presidential candidate and former El Paso Congressman Beto O'Rourke reacted to the news as information was still coming out.
So I just ask for everyone's strength for El Paso right now. Everyone's resolve to make sure that this does not continue to happen in this country.
On Twitter, President Trump said he's been in contact with Texas Governor Greg Abbott and is pledging the full support of the federal government. Kenneth Craig, CBS News.
CBS News now reporting it was 18 people who were killed. You can look for much more tonight on the CBS Evening News. That is coming up right after CBS 4 News at 6. We have major developments overnight about the controversial Homestead Detention Center for migrant youth. As of right now, there are no more detainees being held there. Population at the South Miami-Dade facility has been dwindling down over the last few weeks. And this morning, Health and Human Services confirmed the last teenagers still being held there were all relocated. CBS 4's Ty Russell is outside of the facility and kicks off our team coverage tonight.
It's pretty quiet today, but we are being told that the activity here won't disappear anytime soon. Even though each child has been either paired with a sponsor or taken to a different shelter, workers at this facility will still continue to show up. Cell phone video captured some of the last children leaving this facility in South Miami-Dade Friday.
The sun was still barely out, and we just made sure to make some noise and to all the boys and kids that were left and, send them our love.
Tina Marie Davidson was recording outside what was at one point the largest shelter to house children who were unaccompanied while crossing the southern border. From March of 2018, more than 14,000 children have gone through this shelter. Saturday, the Federal Department of Health and Human Services announced there are no longer any children left.
We were here till 2 or 3 in the morning, witnessing and noticing some unusual activity with vans coming in and out.
Davidson has been outside every day for more than 5 months, and she wasn't alone.
We came back this morning to find out when we looked over the fence that there were no kids left.
After a change in policy, HHS says it was able to reduce the length of stay for each child. The feds say all the children have been either paired with a sponsor or sent to one of its 168 permanent state-regulated facilities throughout the U.S. It's unclear exactly where and how many were reunified with family.
And if they're in another detention center, we need to find them and go there.
The facility won't be closing its doors. Caliburn International, which runs day-to-day operations, is expected to lay off nearly 4,000 people, but will keep roughly 300 around. They will also decrease the number of beds from 2,700 to 1,200, and workers will maintain the facility in case the Trump administration plans to send more children. HHS says most of the children who are housed here are from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. Now, the feds are expecting an increase in border crossings in the fall, and they say if all of the permanent shelters fill up, then this shelter here in South Miami-Dade will once again house children. But for now, we are in South Miami-Dade. I'm Ty Russell, CBS 4 News.
Well, this homestead shelter for migrant children has been a topic of controversy, even attracting all but one Democratic presidential candidate to stop by the South Miami-Dade facility to check it out. CBS 4's Jim DeFede spoke exclusively on camera with a current employee of the shelter and a teenager who was one of 14,000 forced to stay there. They both describe a regimented, almost prison-like atmosphere.
Me daba cuenta que estaba en un lugar en el que hay veces sentía que ellos no sentían el dolor de nosotros.
Sophia, as we are calling her for this piece, is one of the 14,000 children dispatched to the Homestead Detention Center since it reopened in 2017. It can house as many as 3,000 children at a time.
Es un periodo en el que uno sufre bastante porque uno siente, más cuando lo separan de la familia, uno siente que nadie lo apoya.
In the 82 days she spent there, Sophia describes a difficult time away from her family, made worse by some of the comments she says she heard workers make.
Entonces la YC le dijo repentinamente que si ella creía que los Estados Unidos le iba a recibir de buena manera. Entonces ella le dijo que no, que solo le estaba preguntando. Y la YC le dijo que no, que todos nosotros deberíamos ser reportados por intrusos en este lugar.
But not everyone there has that attitude.
I'm there for these kids. I want to be a voice for them somehow.
YC is a youth care worker. We are hiding their true identity because workers have to sign non-disclosure agreements to work at the shelter.
They call it the prison. They know it's a prison. They say it's a prison.
YC describes rules like 5 minutes to shower, 5 minutes to use the bathroom, 15 minutes to eat, no hugging or touching, and 1 hour of outdoor playtime per day.
Anybody would go get fed up with that after 4 months of doing the same routine over and over. Nothing changes.
YC says when visitors come through, they are warned well in advance to prepare.
They tell us there's a visit. Make sure you're on your best behavior. Clean. Ask the cleaning ladies to spray so that it smells good.
This worker says many of these children are escaping life-threatening conditions in hopes of finding something better.
They're not evil at all. I've had so many of them tell me about how they had to go away because gangs were trying to recruit them. They either killed their mom or their dad, or they were abandoned as kids. They had nobody, and they've always heard that America was the place to come to get ahead in life, so they came running.
That was the case for Sophia. Born in Honduras outside of a city referred to as the murder capital of the world, San Pedro Sula, her mother died of cancer, and she says her brother was killed by a gang. She says they received death threats, and her sister decided they had to leave.
Porque yo sentía que mi vida corría peligro en Honduras.
The two made it to Texas, where they were separated when detained at the border. Her sister went to a facility in Texas. She was sent to Homestead. On her 18th birthday, Sophia was immediately transferred to an ICE facility.
Porque llegaron los de migración y me esposaron para llevarme al otro centro.
18 days later, attorneys were able to place her in the care of an aunt. She has an asylum claim moving through the courts and is hoping to move forward. As for YC, it's unclear the status of their job after the closure. But this worker says despite the challenges, they do the job to help these children in the way they can.
I talk to my family and they remind me, like, you're doing okay. It's a good thing you're there. They need somebody like you there, somebody patient and loving, be there for them.
Well, the company that runs the Homestead Detention Center is reacting to reports from CBS 4 News about poor treatment of the migrant children. It disputes the claim that the children there are unhappy. In a statement, a Caliburn spokesperson cited a survey they conduct with the children before they are released. Quote, more than 9,800 children have completed the survey. When asked to rate their satisfaction with their stay at Homestead, 85% responded very much, top category, and 10% responded mostly. The remainder categories rating under 5% collectively were sometimes, not much, and not at all. CBS 4's Jim DeFede is continuing to follow this story. We hope to have more for you by next week, including an interview with a Caliburn official. But until then, you can watch all of Jim's exclusive interviews with that whistleblower who is exposing conditions inside of the detention facility, as well as the young immigrant who talks about her experience there. This week on Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede, Jim also speaks with an attorney who represents asylum seekers about the legal hurdles unaccompanied minors face. Facing South Florida airs tomorrow morning at its new earlier time, 8:30 a.m., and it's only here on CBS 4. Now, some scary moments for a diver off of Key Biscayne this morning after he was bit by a shark. We have the latest on his condition coming up. And we will introduce you to a woman who has a warm heart and a soothing voice, and she's making Miami very proud. Welcome back. A diver suffered serious injuries this morning after a possible shark attack just off Crandon Beach. CBS 4's Amber Diaz is outside of Jackson Memorial Hospital, where that diver is recovering tonight.
Our photographer sprints to the back of Ryder Trauma Center where a man's arm is wrapped and bloodied. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue says he may have been bitten by a shark just before 8 this morning. Fire Rescue says it happened at Crandon Park near Boaters Grill restaurant. That's where the man was brought ashore. Now, according to our news partners at the Miami Herald, witnesses say the man was doing some overnight fishing with a group at the time of the accident. And Fire Rescue says the victim in this case is stable. However, he sustained traumatic injuries at Jackson Memorial Hospital. Amber Diaz, CBS 4 News.
Well, CBS 4 Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer joining us now. Craig, you've had a busy afternoon.
Makes the weekends fly when you're indoors. You might as well be working hard, right? Let's show you what's going on outside. Carly, with the radar, which is very, very active. Stays stormy. Maybe a break by late next week. Carly?
Craig, thank you for that update. Everyone needs to stay safe. It is time now for our Miami Proud series. Every week we bring you stories that feature people and organizations inspiring greatness and pride. Well, there are countless ways to share your time and your talents as a volunteer. And for one woman, having a warm heart and a soothing voice led to a special role with Baptist Hospital. CBS 4's Maribel Rodriguez has her story.
You look so cute with your little purple bow and flower.
Little Amaya was just 2 pounds, 12 ounces when she was born at 28 weeks premature.
Now look at you. You have just gained so much weight and just grown and grown.
Debbie Figueroa has a special connection. She's been cuddling Amaya and many other babies in the neonatal intensive care unit as a sort of volunteer baby whisperer.
It is a very, very warm feeling to know that you have taken the baby and just held the baby and comforted the baby while the mother may not be able to do that at the particular time.
No one can replace the bond between a mother and child, but parents can't be there 24/7.
They have other responsibilities, other children, jobs, and must work. So to come and hold the babies and just to give them some love and cuddle. Yes. Sometimes I'll hold them and they'll sleep in my arms for 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2.5 hours. I put them down, they're up.
You got that special something. Debbie's nurturing personality may come from her career as a physical therapist. Now retired, she's been volunteering here in the NICU almost 2 years and with other patients for many years. Her time spent with the newborns is rewarding and valuable.
Studies show that it helps them grow, it helps them gain weight, it helps them thrive, it helps them get home sooner. So her input is invaluable. Her role here is to help us with the babies that are getting a little bit older. They want a little more interaction, a little more stimulation. So she'll come and cuddle with them. She reads to them. She'll sing to them.
What's your favorite song?
Sometimes I just make it up as I go along. I look forward to seeing them. I look forward to seeing how they're growing, how they're improving, and when they get a chance, when they get ready to go home, wonderful feeling that you had a very small part into helping them reach that goal.
You're beautiful.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yes.
It does take special training and background to volunteer in the NICU, but Baptist is accepting college students and adult volunteers to help out throughout the hospital. For more information, you can go to our website, cbsmiami.com. Maribel Rodriguez, CBS 4 News.
CBS 4's Miami Proud is sponsored by FPL. Storm season is here. We're ready. Are you? See how you can prepare at fpl.com/storm.
And who knows, maybe extends their run of 5 straight finals appearances.
All right, well, that is the news for now. And for more, go to cbsmiami.com. See you in about half an hour.